Right now, somewhere in your family, there is a conversation happening about you. Not a bad one. Not people talking behind your back the way you're picturing it. Just two people, your son and his wife, are in the car on the way home from your house, comparing notes. Small things. Things they noticed. And in that conversation are about 7 things they have both been noticing about you for a while now, and neither one of them will ever say a single word about it to your face. They won't say it because they love you. That's the whole reason. Telling you feels cruel, so they say nothing, and instead they quietly adjust around you. Today I'm giving you those 7 things. Not to make you feel bad, the opposite. Every one of them is something you're doing, which means everyone is something you can stop, starting tonight. And stay with me for number 4. Number 4 is the one almost every man over 65 is doing several times a day without the faintest idea he's doing it. It's small. It's completely harmless. And it is the single biggest reason a family starts treating a man like he's fading. You will do it tonight, probably within the next few hours. After this video, you're going to catch yourself doing it, and that's exactly the point. Number 1. They notice how often you repeat yourself. And they have stopped telling you. That second part is the one that matters, so let me say it again. It isn't repeating. Everybody repeats themselves. It's that at some point, they stopped correcting you. Think back. There was a time when you'd start a story and your daughter would say, "You told me that one, Dad." Light easy, no big deal. When was the last time anybody did that? Now they let you finish. They nod in the right places. They ask a question they already know the answer to. That switch, from correcting you to letting you finish, is the exact moment their picture of you changed. And nobody announced it. Vernon was 72. He told the same story about a truck he sold in 1989 at 3 separate dinners in 1 year, and nobody stopped him once. Months later his daughter mentioned, half laughing, that they'd all started expecting the truck story. It wasn't a mean joke. But it was a joke, Vernon was the subject of it, and he had no idea. So, here's the fix, and don't try to solve this by remembering what you told whom, because that's impossible. Instead, put a question in front of the story. Have I told you about the truck? 4 words. 2 seconds. And if they say yes, don't tell them. That's the hard part. Just say, "Oh, all right," and let it go. That one habit protects you more than anything else on this list. Quick thing before number 2. In the comments, tell me one thing you think your family has noticed about you but has never said out loud. You'd be surprised how many men write the same answer. I read all of them. Number 2. They notice how you talk about money. Not what you spend. How often do you mention what things cost? $7 for a coffee. They want to know how much for that? In my day that was 50 cents. In your head you're pointing out that the world has gone a bit mad. And you're right, it has. But that isn't what they hear. What they hear is, he's worried about money. And once a family decides that things change, they stop inviting him to do things that cost something. They pick the cheaper restaurant without asking. They stop mentioning their holiday. They start protecting him from information. And protection is just distance by wearing a nicer coat. Clifford was 70. He'd mention prices maybe twice a visit. Nothing dramatic. 2 years later he found out his son's family had been to Ireland and hadn't told him, because they didn't want him feeling bad about the cost. Clifford had more money in the bank than his son. Nobody knew, because all they had to go on was what he said out loud. So, the fix is a choice and you only get one. You can comment on prices, or you can be included. Try 1 month of letting the number go past without a word. Just 1 month. See what starts getting mentioned to you again. Number 3. They notice the size of your reaction when something small goes wrong. A dropped glass. A wrong turn. The remote that won't work. The phone that decides to update itself in the middle of something. And here's what they're measuring, and it isn't the mistake. It's the gap. How big your reaction was, compared to how big the problem was. A 10-second problem that gets a 4-minute reaction. What goes through their heads is not, "He's angry." It's something worse. It's, "He can't handle things the way he used to." Frustration doesn't read as strength. It reads as fragility. That's the trade nobody ever tells you about. Marvin was 74. Restaurant, wrong order, and he went on about it for 2 minutes. His granddaughter remembers nothing about that meal except those 2 minutes. And the next time they went out, his daughter ordered him not because he couldn't, but because it was easier than risking it. The fix is a rule about sentences. When something goes wrong, you get one. Well, that's annoying. Then you stop. The first sentence is normal. Everybody says the first sentence. The damage is all in the second one, and the third, and the one you say 5 minutes later when everyone thought it was over. Number 4. And here is the one I told you about. They notice how much you talk about your own body. My knees are bad today. This shoulder. Getting out of a chair is a project now. The small sound you make when you sit down. The little comment when stairs come up. You pull your face reaching for something on a high shelf. Every one of those, on its own, is nothing. But across a 2-hour visit it might be 8 or 9. And your family is keeping a running count without meaning to. Now here's the part one wants you to hear. They cannot see how you feel. They can only hear what you say. So what you say about your body simply becomes how you are, in their heads. There's no other information available to them. You are handing them the file, and then wondering why they treat you like the file. And the strangest part is you're not even complaining. You're making conversation. You're talking about your knee the way anyone talks about the weather. But it doesn't get stored like weather. It gets stored as evidence. Russell was 76 and in good shape, 2 miles most mornings. But he narrated. A small sound sitting down. A word about his back at dinner. The comment on the stairs. Within a year his son was coming over to carry things Russell had carried alone for a decade. Russell never asked for help once. He just talked and his son had listened. So here's the rule, and it's one line. Say it once or don't say it. If your knee hurts and somebody asks, tell them the truth once. Then it's finished for the day. And stop narrating your body when nobody asks at all. No sound out loud when you sit. No commentary on the stairs. This is not about hiding anything or pretending you're 30. It's that running commentary isn't information. It's a portrait. And you're the one painting it. Number 5. They notice whether you ask about their lives or only report on your own. Do this honestly. Think about the last time your family visited. How many actual questions did you ask them? Not, how was the traffic? Not, did you eat? Real ones. Most men land on 1 or 2, and both were logistics. They've noticed and they've concluded something, and it isn't that you don't care. It's that your world got small. That's what it looks like from outside. Ted was 79 when his daughter said something to him, gently, in the kitchen. She said, "You know you've never once asked me what I actually do at work?" She'd been doing that job for 11 years. So, the fix is 3 questions per visit. Write them on a piece of paper beforehand if you need to, nobody will ever know. And make them real. What's the hardest part of your job right now? Then here's the trap you must avoid. They answer, and your instinct will be to say, that reminds me of when, and just like that, it's your story again. Don't. Ask a second question about their answer instead. That second question is where they feel it. Number 6. They notice how you treat the person they married. The son-in-law you never quite address directly. You're polite to the daughter-in-law but never actually ask anything. The tone is cooler than the one you use with your own child. In your head you're being neutral. You've got nothing against them. But to your son or daughter, there's no such thing as neutral here. How you treat their husband or wife is a message about the person they chose, and they read it every single time. Douglas was 73 and never once rude to his daughter's husband. Not one sharp word in 15 years. But at every gathering he talked to his daughter and around the man. She visited less and could never quite explain to herself why. The fix takes about 10 seconds. One direct question to the spouse, every visit, before you talk to your own child. Use their name. Ben, how's that project going? Just one. It changes the temperature of an entire room, and it'll change how your own child looks at you across it. Number 7. And this one decides all the others. They notice how you handle being wrong. A fact, a date, a name, a direction. What are you doing at that moment? Most men do one of 3 things. Argue it, change the subject, or turn it into a joke and move on fast. All 3 send the same message: don't correct him. And the day your family decides not to correct you is the day they stop bringing you anything real. Because a conversation you're not allowed to be wrong in isn't a conversation. It's an announcement. And people don't come back for announcements. Alan was 80. His grandson used to argue with him about everything: politics, sports, all of it. Then he stopped. Alan assumed the boy had grown quieter with age. He hadn't. He'd stopped bringing things to a table where he wasn't allowed to disagree. Your fix is 4 words, said fast and plainly, with nothing attached to the end of them. You're right. I'm wrong. No, but. No explanation of why you thought what you thought. Just those 4 words, and then let the conversation carry on. Do it once, in front of everybody, and watch the room loosen up. A man who can be wrong is a man people bring things to. So, there they are. 7. How often do you repeat yourself? How you talk about money. The size of your reaction when something small goes wrong. How much you talk about your body. Whether you ask about their lives. How you treat the person they married. And how you handle being wrong. Now look at what all 7 have in common, because this is the only thing I want you to keep. Not one of them is about your age. Not one is about your health, or your memory, or anything happening to you. Everyone is something you are saying or doing. Which means everyone is sitting in your hands tonight, free of charge. Your family isn't judging your body. They're reading your signals. And you have been sending them without knowing it. So, here's your one thing for this week, and it's not a change. It's just counting. Take number 4. For one full day, count how many times you say something out loud about your body. Don't stop doing it. Don't fix anything. Just count. Most men come back with a number that surprises them. And once you've seen it, you can't see it, that's when it starts changing on its own. If this was worth your time, hit subscribe. There's a new one every day. And in the next video, I'm giving you 6 sentences that make people take you seriously again. Number 2 works on a stranger in about 10 seconds. I'll see you there.